Built to Host really works for us because it's true.
All right, very, very special guest just comes down the hall from New Orleans and Company with us today. It's the Senior Vice President for Convention Sales and Strategy, Stephanie Turner. Stephanie, thank you for being with us. I've been wanting to have you on the show for many weeks, and I know your schedule is such that we finally got you here. We need to talk about the great work that you're doing. Thank you.
Well, it's my honor. I am so happy you have this show. It's a great platform to talk about what's happening in our wonderful city. And you have been my friend and mentor and colleague, and so it's just my honor to be here today.
Well, Stephanie, tell us, thank you very much for that. Tell us, you're bringing in these conventions, these major meetings, but all sizes, really. What does that mean to the city?
Well, it really is interesting because we are such a tourist destination, and we are thought of because of our wonderful, iconic events. Mardi Gras, Jazz Fest, French Quarter Fest, all the festivals, all the special events we host, the sporting events. But those events just take up a few days in a calendar.
Right.
And then they are 300 and something other days. We don't have the volume of business travel, individual business travel that occur in other cities, Dallas and Atlanta. We just don't have those Fortune 500 companies, as you know. And so what happens, our meetings and conventions become the foundational layer. So we are working today for tomorrow, but today for 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So the foundation is laid slowly and in layers.
You mentioned 10 years from now. I understand that you're booking into the city into the 2030s and beyond.
We are. And it sounds shocking when you first hear it. Why would you book something 10, 15 years out? But when you're talking about some of the largest meetings in the country that require all 1 million square feet of our convention center and 30 plus hotels to make the guest room part of it work, you have to get that far out to be able to secure that kind of space.
Yeah. And for the last few years, you've been working through this wonderful way to capture why New Orleans is so special for meetings, and it's the Built to Host. How did that come about?
Well, you were involved at that from the beginning. Back in 2019, competition was really heating it up. And this was just before COVID, in those last 6 months of 2019. And our hotel community, we as a community realized we needed something to help us stand out so that we didn't get left behind like, oh, New Orleans, we've been there every 3 years. There's all these new places. Let's go there. And so we really did a deep dive together into how we were perceived. We did a deep dive into how other cities communicated, advertised, and talked about themselves. And after this extensive research, we came back with 3 simple words that just are true, and that's what makes a brand work. So Built to Host sounds simple, but it was a long time getting there, and there were many options, but Built to Host really works for us because it's true. And it's true about our people. It all starts there. Everything about our culture starts with our people.
Right, and all this infrastructure that we provide for these meetings, it's all here. I mean, and as they say, it's all within pretty much walking distance too.
It is. And when you think about this foundational layer, just our convention sales team alone puts over 1,000 meetings into 2025, over 1,000 meetings into 2024. We'll get there in 26 because you're still booking in 26. So when you think about that requires a lot of technical excellence. You just can't be the fun city and produce that amount of events. And so not only do we have the walkability, so if it's a big meeting or even a medium-sized meeting, people feel like they're here for that event, and that doesn't happen everywhere else. So when you're here for a large meeting, you know you're here. Unmistakably, you're here for college football championship or American College of Cardiology. So that walkability is very special for us.
And when you do these special events, because I know you're involved not only in the, and we want to touch on the medical meetings in just a minute, but I know you're a partner with like the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation when they go out years ahead to try to do like a Super Bowl.
Right.
And you look at that as sort of a branding opportunity to show all these corporations that come through for these special events that New Orleans is a great meeting town.
Absolutely, because over a Super Bowl, you have real CEOs and business leaders that we don't get on a regular basis. And our team also partners with the Sports Foundation to secure all of the guest rooms for all of these major events. So we're working years in advance with our hotel community, and that partnership with the Sports Foundation is rich and deep, and we're very connected in how we work because it all comes together. You have to have the sleeping rooms to make the event work. And I think in the instance of Super Bowl, many people in our community, and I would if I wasn't in our business, thinks that you win the bid and then it comes. But all of the work that goes to make it happens way in advance, and it starts at the guest room piece.
Well, speak of the medical meetings. We've been so successful based on the work that you've done and your team. Why are we such a hot spot for medical meetings?
We're a great location for these major medical meetings because they have good attendance. And a good part of these major medical meetings are the science, where new advancements are learned, but also the exhibitions where they're looking at technology. And so the exhibitions are a big part of the show. And so we are a good draw. We drive good attendance. We just concluded the orthopedic surgeon show last week, and it was 15,000 orthopedic surgeons here. And here's the really interesting thing. They haven't been in New Orleans since 2018. So having a successful meeting, having our community do a terrific job, the restaurants, the cultural bearers, all of those people make a tremendous impact, and they left thrilled. And so, of course, as we're saying goodbye, we're entertaining and asking for the next opportunity to host them.
Yeah, that feedback's got to be so important, right? Because those become your major influencers to get the meetings back here, and they take it back to their various associations that they belong to, and it just feeds on itself.
It does. A good experience grows, and the information shared amongst colleagues, because we are an industry, so we attend meetings together of our industry. So good news travels, and it's very important to be known as a very technically savvy community that puts the customer first, and that's a big part of our competitive advantage.
Wanted to make sure our viewers and listeners understand, you run a very large team of people here. You partner with the convention center. It's a different team, but y'all work as a partnership because that's a great facility, but you also bring meetings into these hotels that have large ballrooms and meeting spaces as well. So you've got all these tools to work with, including the convention center, correct?
That's right. And I think the most important thing is the sales team here at New Orleans and Company, our sales leaders, as we call them, are outstanding individuals. They are experienced, they are well respected, and they are out there every day. I looked at the numbers just on site inspections alone, bringing people to town, over 300 last year.
So these site inspections are when people coming in to consider New Orleans, and
That's
so
right.
You're putting on the sales, right?
Right, or they could be a definite site where we're then they're looking at venues or attractions. So the sales process happens all throughout the life of a meeting. But our sales team does the most incredible work of organizing these visits, taking them to hotels. We are the lead on when we're competing in a large meeting and putting that bid together. And we also have great partners at the convention center. And I think the most important thing about competition is when you show up together, you don't want to be competing against yourselves to go and make a sale.
Right.
Customers can sense that. And in New Orleans, there's a real community first. Our partnership with the convention center is seamless, as well as our partnership with the hotels. And that's so important in those three because it takes those three to secure the meeting so that everyone else can go and compete for all the other parts of that meeting, whether it be a destination management company, a florist, transportation. All those things typically come once you've confirmed the business. And that's why so much emphasis on the confirmation.
Let's look 20 years ahead. What gives you all the confidence for this city and for this unique place we call New Orleans?
The people of our city are so proud of our city and love sharing our culture. You literally can't sit at a Saints game and sit next to someone and you ask them where they're from, and then they tell you and you tell them 5 places to go eat, or ask them what they've done. That's never changed. That's not going to change. We are protectors of our culture. And I think what's really remarkable about us is we like to grow and evolve like the Superdome. The renovations are incredible, but it's iconic. When we just won the X Games, I listened to these athletes say, the idea that I get to compete in this facility that has hosted some of the most incredible events is really something special. And so when I look ahead, I just see more special events and conventions and meetings building on our legacy.
Beautifully put, because I think we welcome people to our home and we treat everyone like this is our house. Welcome to our house. And we want you to come back often, right?
We do. And there's this thing about competition that when we're all together as a community, if we're hosting, maybe doing a reception or bringing leadership together, the people here know each other. They may have grown up together. They may have gone to the same school. They may have met in this industry. Customers feel that. And then our partners will go back and compete within their own time, within their own space. And that I think is pretty remarkable, that people feel we just want the meeting in New Orleans. We can feel that from all of you. And then everybody will go and put their best foot forward to compete individually.
Excellent. Let's bring it to a close, but by asking you, what got you into this business? I mean, you're doing so well. You're seen as a leader in the industry across the nation. Tell us about Stephanie and what brought you down here.
My very good friend Amy Reimer at the time worked here in sales. It was her first hospitality experience role, and she went on to be a general manager and actually on our board and chair. And she thought, you'd be really good at this. And so she prodded me to think about it, and I did, and joined a hotel sales staff and spent the first part of my career on hotel sales and then moved over to the DMO side. And I think the combination of both has been very beneficial for me.
Excellent. What do you do in your spare time?
I have a 21-year-old son who will probably roll his eyes that I'm mentioning him. He's in college at LSU, so spending time with him. We have 2 young dogs, black lab, brown lab, and gardening. I
know
really
you're a Saints
enjoy
fan,
it.
right?
I'm a huge football fan. Everybody that knows me knows football. I said yesterday, I literally walked through the house and I said, I don't like it when there's no football on. So yes, please come back football. And I
Great.
do love the Pelicans as well.
There you go. Thank you. Stephanie, thank you for being with us. Look forward to having you back, talking about the future of meetings and some of the big shows coming up as well that you're taking care of. And I'd love to work with you.
Me too. And thank you for letting me talk about our part of the hospitality
It's very
business.
important. Very important. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Hey, y'all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and turn on your notifications. Please follow us. We've got new shows each and every week. And a very, very special thanks to all of our sponsors who are making this possible. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.